and welcome to this chat view with Tom Evans and the English Sisters.
Hello Tom, it's lovely to catch up with you again.
Yeah, great.
I know, and you too. It's been some while, hasn't it now?
It has. We've been ever so busy. We've been to America.
Yeah, we've had fun, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done a hypnosis course and a course in other than conscious communication.
Yeah, that was very
Wow, that sounds fascinating.
Saying hello and talking non-verbally.
Yeah, talking, communicating non-verbally, yeah.
It's like talking in the end, isn't it?
Well, it is really.
Without words.
Yeah, you come to realise that words are just a little surplus.
Oh, so should we do a silent chat view?
Well, maybe next time.
I think the viewers would appreciate a few words.
A few words, yeah.
So what's this tree of thought that you've been up to?
Oh, yeah, we're really interested.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, well, kind of loads of things have happened since I last saw you. Remember, I was just looking at our two videos that we did some time ago when I was interviewing about the entrancing tales that you did me on the Cube of Karma. And I keep having these light bulb moments about all this work that I've been doing. You know, the Cube of Karma was based on a thing called the Cube of Space, and the Cube of Space has the tarot map to it. So I've got one I did earlier here. So this is the Cube of Space, got the tarot map to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I found I could map my flavours of thought that have got a tarot correspondence to the Cube of Space, and I created this thing called the Cube of Karma, and started using that to take people on personal journeys of evolution. And I've now got 5 tour guides and 5 practitioners now trained up doing it, which is just phenomenal. Considering this time last year, I wasn't even planning this. I was just planning on, doing my light bulb stuff, thinking that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And all this stuff has just come in.
Wow.
But there's a thing. There's a glyph called the Tree of Life, which is a kind of Kabbalah thing. And I've never really understood it because it's quite complex. It's got quite a lot of old arcane language around it, which is a bit sort of inaccessible. Yeah. And one wet day, I thought, well, I know that the Tree of Life has got tarot correspondences. So I thought, what happens if I put the flavours onto the Tree of Life? And all of a sudden, it was bing, just understood it. And then I took a few people around it and found it's a really, really good MOT for the mind and soul. So what it does when you go around it, it just gives you a snapshot of where you are from a kind of mind, body, spirit perspective. And if there's any blockages, it shows you how you can bypass them temporarily and then get back up to 100% or even 110%, which is just an amazing tool.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And so what would be the first step to take then on this Tree of Life? Or are there steps or little journeys, or what is it?
Yeah, there's sort of mini trips around it. It's based on a Tree of Life. So what you do is you can do it over Skype or you can do it face to face.
So you do Skype consultations then? Would you do that?
Exactly, yeah. And it works really, really quickly. So the cube of space is and the cube of karma is quite a big thing to go around. It takes several months because there's so many steps in it, and it takes you on a path to self mastery. So it's quite an involved process. You've got to do a lot of work with people. Whereas the Tree of Thought is a quick one-on-one kind of repair kit for the soul. Wow. And you literally go around a trip around the outside of the tree, and where you get some resistance, there's loads of hidden pathways you can go around just to bypass that thing that's giving you trouble at any one particular time. And it takes you on that path. You know that idea of the above and the below and where the connectors between the two? It looks at where the blockages are, and quite interestingly, where the blockages are around the tree, there's quite often a physical blockage as well. So you see an element in somebody's body in the auric field who's got a corresponding block. So it's quite an interesting tool. And what surprised me even more about all this stuff is that for some time I've been, I don't know what time the last time we spoke, but about 3 or 4 years ago, I spontaneously started to see auras and see past lives and people.
Yeah, we remember you were telling us.
But the weirdest thing, and bearing in mind I'm a BBC trained engineer and I learned lots about video and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. The weirdest thing was when I started to see these things over Skype. Because there's no way you should be able to do it if you think about it from an electronic perspective. So obviously there's another kind of communication going on, which is maybe not that non-verbal kind that you're mentioning.
Or maybe some form form of energy.
Exactly, yeah. So you're tuning into the person's energy while you're still having a call.
You're tuning into the person's
So it's a brilliant tool because, it's something we don't need to meet face to face. It's really quick. In sort of half an hour or an hour, you can sort of take someone around it, identify the blockage, do a temporary rewiring around it, and then kind of overnight, it's almost like the Band-Aid, the spiritual Band-Aid seems to work and cure whatever is stopping someone being magnificent.
Gosh, so is it like a mini coaching then, but obviously in a different way, but you coach people through the tree of thought?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a coaching session. It's a kind of mentoring system. It's like a guided journeying session as well, bit of visualization in it. But because it's got the magic of the major arcana and the tree of life embedded in it, we were talking before we had the chat with you about allowing magic back into our life. It really works so magically, and the results that we're getting from it are just amazingly. So considering I didn't plan to develop it, it just came in one day, one of these light bulb moment manners.
Well, that's how your mind works, isn't it?
It is.
That's how you've been doing everything. It's just like it naturally evolves.
Well, you've been allowing it to come in. You've been allowing it to come in.
Yeah, you believe in magic, so magic happens.
So you see it. So you see it. Yeah, it comes to you. Whereas if you don't, you can't see it.
You can't see it.
No, you won't allow for it either.
Well, ever since we read your book as well, both of them, a lot of magical things have been happening to us as well. Since we read light bulb moments and flavors of thought, so I mean we can well believe.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely.
We very much believe in the power of thought and how thoughts are kind of things. Yeah, the thoughts make things happen for you.
Well, they're like an energy that the other person sort of picks it up. It's very funny to explain, really, and it can sound.
I suppose you have to experience it.
Yeah. It's an experiential.
Yeah, I've been reading a guy called Dr. David Hamilton. He's a scientist who sort of writes in this kind of metaphysical era. And he talks about mirror neurons and how, let's say you wanted to play golf. You might watch somebody doing the golf swing. And then your mirror neurons kind of copy it, if you know what I mean. And the same might be true when you learn a language. If you just immerse yourself in it, you kind of start to copy how other people are reacting to it. And I think the same is true of all these kind of magical things as well. It's what I call nicely infectious. So if you're working with people that are working magically and in that kind of light bulb moment environment, you'll pick it up. Yeah. And I sussed this out after I'd seen David Hamilton talking. And the next time I did a talk on light bulb moments, I realised what happens when I'm in the room with people is all I've got to do is get into that state where I'm experiencing light bulb moments. And then everybody gets into the same state too. Yeah. And then about a month or two later, I did a workshop. I did this clinical whole mind connection workshop where I get everyone to retune with their inner minds and tune in with their outer minds as well. And I tried this on. I tried this this technique out where I get into the state where I can see the past lives and the future lives. Mm-hmm. And every single person in the room got into the same state as well. Wow. So I realised this is a natural ability that we all possess. You just have to be tuned into it or tuned to it.
Fantastic. That's cool.
Wow. Well, it's trance-inducing, isn't it? When you see somebody else in a trance-like state.
Yeah.
You know, it's natural.
As hypnotherapists, that's what we do. Yeah. We go into trance
and then you bring the other person with you.
will go into trance with you. So it's a
bit,
like a dance. It's something you do together. You don't do on your own.
No, or the
exactly.
It's a form of energy that's going around.
It's energy, absolutely.
It's wonderful.
It's cool.
Wow, it was lovely to catch up with you. So where can people catch up with this?
So go to the Recipes for Fresh Thinking site, and because it's a recipe site, we've got a larder now, we've got a menu, we've got courses, so you can start with a remove bush, and you can work through all the courses in our menu. Fantastic. And the Tree of Thought is one of our courses.
Fantastic! Well, what a lovely way to improve yourself, isn't it? Self-improvement. Yeah. Self-improvement at its best with a little bit of magic in there.
Yeah.
You got it. And you come with the power of a great metaphor as well. You can't beat it, can you?
No.
You can't, no.
You take
the tree of life. Come on.
the tree of thought.
The tree of thought is the same as the tree of life.
Exactly.
You know?
You've got great roots. You've got a trunk supporting you, and you've got leaves that allow you to grow and catch the sunlight.
That's wonderful.
Okay. It's brilliant. Okay, fantastic chat.
Take care. We'll catch up soon.
Okay,
lovely
bye.
talking to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.